So Wilder wins a world title in 2015, and finally he's looking to step up his matchmaking. The problem was, it didn't seem like there was anyone getting ready to stand up in line to face him. So he stayed active, 5 title defenses, impressive against whoever was willing to stand up in front of him. Deontay Wilder wanted to fight the very best in the world. The only one really standing around was Bermane Stiverne, a mandatory opponent for this rematch. Brooklyn, the Barclays Center.
Now this fight between Deontay Wilder and Bermane Stiverne, it was supposed to be Luis Ortiz in there with Deontay Wilder, a fight that had been brewing for multiple years. There's a 2 top 5 heavyweights. Luis Ortiz ultimately fails a drug test. Ultimately, the fight could not go on, and the boxing world had to scramble to find a replacement, and who they came up with was Bermane Stiverne in a rematch of their fight that took place 2 years previous.
So coming into this fight, Deontay Wilder hypes it up. He says Bermane Stiverne will pay for Luis Ortiz screwing up. The idea that Wilder was selling was, I'm angry. I'm really irritated that I'm not getting this other fight that I want, and so I'm gonna take out all my anger on Bermane Stiverne. Knocks down Bermane Stiverne, and Stiverne somehow gets back up. The referee signals for the action to continue again, and Wilder does nothing. He stands there in the middle of the ring with his arms down, just glaring at Stiverne.
I wasn't myself at that moment in time. I felt like something was over me. I felt possessed a little bit. I felt like something was controlling my body. At one moment in time when I stood over him and I paused just a little bit to look at him, I came outside of my body. I saw me and I saw him. And when I started to well on this, it's like my spirit or soul sucked back into my body, and I started back welling and welling, and he went down.
I don't know if there was a video game going on or what, but it seemed like Wilder picked up his PlayStation controller and hit L1 and R1. He's darting left to right before he lands a sick combination on Stiverne. Bermane Stiverne goes down in sections. He gets packed up in a suitcase.
The way his body was structured that night, bent over that night, it looked like a body don't supposed to even bend that way. But in my mind, I was not satisfied. I wanted to see more pain. I wanted to bring more pain on him.
And all the emotions, all the adrenaline, everything came pouring out of him at that moment. He had won the championship, he defended the belt, he got the knockout, so he now had knocked out every single fighter he had ever faced.
Not only was this knockout so violent, so spectacular, and so absurd, but you had referee Arthur Mercante Jr. almost tackling Wilder to get him off of his opponent. No, he's had enough. Get away from him.
And the ref had to come, Deontay, I remember ref, Deontay, and I snapping at him, you know. It was a great moment in time for me.
As you watched that fight, and it was hard not to think, this guy might be the best heavyweight in the world.
I think at that moment in time, a lot of people in America started to realize that we have a bad man in America, and he goes by the name of Deontay Wilder.